Hello, everybody. Welcome to What's Up Wednesday. I'm here from the Rainmaker Marketing Throne Room, I guess we'll call it. It's nice and toasty warm. My guest today for What's Up Wednesday is Jacques Lambert. Jacques, you're in a beautiful barn there, hopefully heated.
Yes, definitely heated. Thank goodness, because we've been it's been a little cold here lately, but we're lucky to get this barn and get that heat going in here. So
And speaking of your barn, you're one of the new people or new trainers that have come out to Alberta. Thank you very much for coming out. First off, second off, talk a little bit to me about the process of coming out here, and talk a little bit about Julie and your family.
yeah, sure. There's Julie and I, and we have two kids. Jasmine's going to turn 16 here right away, and Jaden's 12. And we moved out here from Manitoba. I guess officially would have been call it mid last summer, I guess. We moved over to James Rose's farm at Meridian Farms there, I guess. And so we transitioned from Manitoba. We were kind of doing this part-time back home, working 2 full-time jobs and training 6-7 babies in the wintertime, and then racing obviously the fair circuit out there in Manitoba. So I was going to be in between jobs, and just looked at Julie one day and said, it's kind of now or never. We're 40 this year, and we thought, well, you know what, if I'm going to make this a career, it might as well be now. So and I was breaking some horses for Kelly Hort and had some horses with Kelly and stuff, and he kind of encouraged me to come out here and said, you know what, if you came out here, I think you'd have tons of colts to break, and looks like that's kind of what's been happening. So we moved to High River, and obviously in the transition, not knowing exactly how things were going to go, I was going to race some horses, and so we did. We raced during the summertime, and then fall time came, and then all of a sudden I had a bunch of horses. I think last year I broke around 17 babies, and then racing horses at the same time. So it was kind of getting a little hairy there. I think at one point we had 24 horses at Jim Rhodes' place there. So as the winter went along, we broke our own horses, some partnerships with some people, and raced throughout the summertime. Those babies like Dear John, I'm Gone, and those horses, and did not bad in the summertime. But when fall time came again, a lot of guys lined up, and so here we are training babies again, and kind of decided to take that direction moving forward, with the family and stuff. Julie working full time. She works from home, which is kind of nice. She's able to help me out in the mornings and stuff. And then I get going with my day, and the kids are off to school, and then there's hockey and all that stuff. So it kind of gives a little bit more family balance while doing what I love, is developing babies. So that's kind of what we're.
That's great, man. And since you've been here, I mean, it hasn't been all roses and sunshine at the places you guys are at. You somehow picked the one corridor to buy a farm that really does have some of the worst weather in the world.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about some of your setbacks this year. I guess there was one major one after you got out here.
Yeah, definitely. So we were looking when we were High River. We always knew that we wanted to buy a farm, so we're kind of looking for something in between, right? The tracks that we wanted to be in the middle of Leduc and Balzac. So if we kept racing, that would make sense for us instead of trekking 4 hours one way kind of deal, and nice and close to Lacombe as well. So we found this spot, really good spot, nice little house. And the barn itself, 14 stalls and that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what we're looking for. And then obviously enough acreage to put in a track. So we've invested significantly in our half-mile track here. And so that's kind of what spot we found. But yeah, like you say, I mean, the summer sort of brought us a, whatever you want to call it, I guess an adventure or whatever. But yeah, we I guess it was the world's largest hail. So record-breaking hail that we had here kind of destroyed the house. Took the shingles. Shingles all had to be replaced. Thank goodness it didn't go through the sheeting, but almost. The eaves troughs, anything on the north and west side were all damaged. All my vinyl siding windows were shattered out and stuff. So it was quite, yeah, we were in the yard when it actually started coming down. We had some friends over and everything, and we sort of headed to the basement and watched this unfold from the basement, windows smashing through. So it was kind of a scary ordeal. Nothing we've ever been through and nothing we want to go through again. But, and the barn too, right? So the whole barn roof, metal roof was all mangled. We're still in the process of getting that replaced. We got the house done about only a few weeks ago, but yeah, so it's a minor setback. And then I guess another thing we could talk about is when we were putting up the track in June, we had a record amount of rainfall. A foot of rain fell in June when we were putting up the track, so we had some challenges there, but got through all that, and here we are, just the barn roof left to do, and hopefully they can get to it. The weather smartens up here in the next few weeks, but yeah, we've had our share of challenges, but we're pulling through, and as a family, we stick together and get through it. And we've had lots of support from horsemen and stuff, encouraging us, lending vehicles or whatever they could do, trucks, even trailers. And so they got through the summertime, and thank goodness for them, because it was a lot of help.
And man, I love your attitude too. I kind of said you had a little bad luck. You called it an adventure, and seeing life that way, especially being a horseman, you really have to. And the horsemen are a close-knit family. We really do want to help everybody get by. And I've noticed that the track is starting to change like that too. We're starting to become more of a close-knit family again. And attitudes like yours really help bring that closer. Let's talk about a few of the good things though. You were able to sell a couple of your yearlings this year, and you've brought more in, and you're doing very well that way. Do you want to talk about a couple of them that have left the barn, your 2-year-olds?
Yeah, for sure. So we had Handcuffed, which that we broke down. My brother actually bought her at the sale last fall, I guess, or whatever that was, and he decided to part ways with her. So I took her on and developed her, trained her down, got her qualified, and I just told Nathan Sobey one day, I said, I think you might be interested in this horse. And he liked the looks of her and how she was going, so he got his partners in, and I retained a percentage share in her. She did well. Obviously, as a 2-year-old, they don't always get through the year, so we decided to turn her out, and she'll be, we're hoping that she's going to be a great 3-year-old next year. She showed lots of promise as a 2-year-old, and then we had Dear John, I'm Gone, which has been a very consistent horse for us. A horse that we took a chance on at the sale. We were looking for something decently cheap or priced, right? So we actually picked her up for $2,000 and ended up making close to 35, I believe, this year. So, winning her last start at the Emerald Filly Pace. And so she's, we're looking forward for her. I Got Socks is another decent 2-year-old that I think is going to make a better 3-year-old. And then some of the older horses, 3-year-olds that, when summer came along and yearlings started coming, I needed to get rid of some horses. So we sold off a couple of horses to other guys who went on and did well. So, I'm happy about that. And that's kind of what my business is. I just want to develop some young horses and get them to a place where they can make a great racehorse. So we've had some luck in the past, names like Criminal Record and Follow Your Nose and all those horses that we took on and either bought at the sale or homebreds or whatever that we developed, and they've moved on and made some great horses. So, and horses like for Kelly Horde as well that we've broke, Jamaica Move, Chucky Farley, those kind of horses that we all kind of had a deal with, and so yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. And now I've got a barn full. We've got 14 stalls here, which is the maximum we have. And since August, they've been right full. Guys either bring them to me for minimum 60 days, and I, put 60 days in them, and then they go off to trainers, or some of them like Kelly Hort and Fred Gilbert and some of those guys that have been very supportive, Trevor Williams, kind of leave them, for the winter with me, and I train them right down to qualify, and then they go on and race for them in the summertime. So it's been great developing those relationships, and it seems like kind of found a niche kind of market. Those guys, the young guys like Dave Kelly, Nate Sobey, all those guys who have racing is their thing and their passion. That's what they want to do. Then it allows guys like myself to take those babies on and for them and develop them. And there's the puppy there.
Yeah.
And and they can go ahead and race during the year. So.
Yeah, Jacques, it's awesome because we need more horsemen here, and you're filling a void that was desperately needed. You know what I mean? There's a very good colt man that somebody that's a big name like a Kelly Hort can trust is something we haven't had probably for a long time out here. So once again, we really thank you for being out here and being brave enough to make the move, and hopefully it pays off. So last question for you. I'll let you get back to your day, man. Maybe get a little warmer in the house. What are you looking forward to for next year? What do you have after the first of the year for the new year that's got Jacques Lambert and your stable and family excited?
Yeah, we've got we brought on some partners last year, Catellia Brothers Inc. They're actually Julie's cousins, Richmond and Michelle Catellia, and they've bought some yearlings this year that I'm a little excited about already. Try to be optimistically cautious there, I guess, but so it's a Custer the Dragon colt that I have with them, and Westward O'Hanover filly that's looking really nice. And then I've got these ones for Kelly and Freddie. We've got the sail topper here, out of Rummy's Command, which is a really, really nice horse. And a lot of these horses I think will make some decent 2-year-olds. And then I've got my 3-year-olds coming up. So that's what I'm going to do is, wait for summertime to come around, or, late spring, and start bringing these horses to this track, get them qualified. And then obviously some 3-year-olds have some major stakes engagements. So we're going to look at that, possibly even BC kind of thing in the springtime, and then race them in the summertime, and hopefully right through to fall time. And then right back at her. I guess the colts are going to start coming in right after the sale, and hopefully can keep doing that and helping horsemen here develop young horses and try to get I love racing young horses. So that's kind of what I'm going to do, is take the summer and race the 2- and 3-year-olds. And then any older horses that I have will just go on to different trainers, and they can take them on and race them throughout the year. So like we've been doing, sent a couple of horses to BC, Chris Lancaster, they're coming back and they'll be in different barns and stuff. So kind of want to do that, play around at the same time, stay committed to the yearlings and making sure we're developing those horses.
That's great, man. I really do appreciate you being here, and thank you again for doing this interview. Like, you have a busy day. One of the things my dad always told me as a young man was luck and preparation meet in the winner's circle. And I can see you're one of the reasons that Mr. Hort and the rest of the guys get so many young horses to the winner's circle. Jacques, you do an amazing job. Once again, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks, James. I really appreciate this.
All right, man.
I just want to say hi and just Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all the horsemen. It's one thing about being at the farm, you don't see everybody, right? So I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Well, thank you very much. I Merry Christmas to you and your family as well. Luckily, Christmas is on. The Grinch got beat last week at the racetrack, so I guess that's good news. But this has been What's Up Wednesday, everybody. Jacques Lambert. I am James Junquist, and we will see you guys next week.
All right, thanks, James. See ya.